We're working hard is what we're doing. Get a piece of tape, man. I did this on my own free will. I mean, I guess you're doing it on your free will too, but look how gentle. Look how gentle Pio is holding his chin. Look at him holding his chin for him. All right, switch. Get too far. I don't think he wants to slip. Don't get too far. I shaved a while ago, they copied me.
Oh yeah, brother. Gotta see ya.
The one that comes out like this? Yeah, dude, that'd be badass. Yeah. So they turn kind of yellow. I think everybody who's anybody on social media knows that. Get insurance, kids, before you wreck shit. Or at least liability so everybody else is covered. All right. This is making me feel super tall. Super tall. You just throw that in there?
Yeah, it's got a bag around it, so it's fine.
It's all good. All right, so now what?
So this here's a truck.
This here's Caitlin. I'm super excited. Super. I mean, this has got to be the best ride that's come out of either of these guys' shop, right? I mean, best thing that Trey 5's built, best thing that iCandy's painted. Absolutely is. Shut the fuck up, Frank. Anyway, it is the best. Took a long time for the gender reassignment. She used to be four-wheel drive. Now she is what she is. Badass. The only thing that I'm not really sure about, maybe you can zoom in on those exhaust tips. Not really sure why those stick out so far. Why are we so close? So everybody has issues with the exhaust. Not really sure why it sticks out so far. Maybe Jeremy can explain that. Maybe he'll get it worked out before it's all over with, but no, looks badass. So, yeah, it's everything I've ever wanted it to be.
Knock it down and flip it.
Perfect. All right.
You're supposed to be filming the exhaust. The exhaust is back there. All right, so where we left off the truck from episode 1 was a long time ago because our cameraman's kind of a deadbeat. Took like a 2-week vacation, did some shows, and then just didn't come down here for a little bit. But we're back. Episode 2. Since you last saw it, obviously, it's now painted. It's also powder coated. It's also running and driving. We have seats in it. We have Dakota digital gauges in it. It's been color sanded and buffed, and basically where we are right now is we're almost ready to go to interior. So windshields in it, precision replacements, gaskets. James at State 48 put all this stuff in for us. We did their vent refurbishment program from Precision. So the windows are in. I installed all the side windows here. We're waiting on James to do some more of the glass. We've got the roll up in the back and we've got the quarter glass. But basically, everything's painted, everything's color sanded and buffed. It's running, it's driving. So we're gonna do a final rundown on this truck, but just to fill you in, we have 525 GM Performance engine, Holley intake manifold, Holley valve covers that locate the coils underneath the cover. So rather than having to route the coils somewhere else and making new wires and extending all of our actual electrical wire, nice little fit. Plus, you know, Frank painted everything to match. All American billet pulley setup and some reservoirs for power steering and coolant. As always, we built our own intake. We're running Hydro Boost for this one because of the size of the 525 engine's cam. The Hydro Boost makes it stop a lot better. A lot of cool little details under here. Obviously heart fab fenders, little shop hinges and little gas shocks. And then the whole grill's been painted also. We even painted the emblem. GSI door handles, full polish version. So the cowl, if you notice, still has the vents, but it doesn't have the wipers. He didn't want wipers, but he didn't want to shave the whole cowl. So we deleted the wiper holes and then just inserted some cowl pieces and welded it up. And then Frank's and his guys bodyworked it and painted it. As we were posting photos of this truck on Instagram after it was painted and assembled, one of the things that got talked about a lot was how far the exhaust tips stuck out and how cool the truck would be if the exhaust didn't stick out, or the truck was great, but then you ruined it with the exhaust tips, like comments like that. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys saw, this is why the exhaust was sticking out a little bit, because the bumper sticks out a little bit from the body, and we flushed the tip with the bumper. So that way the tip wasn't behind the bumper. Just to go over plans for the interior, obviously we have TMI buckets up front. Steve's gonna build a bench for the back, basically between the wheel wells. So as big and as wide as we can get it and still allow leg room for, basically small humans. But then in the back, we're gonna carry this notch cover height all the way back here, and we're gonna make the floor open, kind of like a trunk. So we'll actually trim this out, and it'll look like a trunk when you open it, but you'll be able to get to the tank or the batteries or anything like that for serviceability. And plus it'll just make this floor look flat on here. We're trying to disguise the fact that it has a trunk. We're gonna do a little stereo over the top of the notch, kind of leading into the back seat. But all of this will be wrapped in matching vinyl to the seats. And then I ordered some extra plaid material from TMI to do some inserts. So maybe inserts on the side. Obviously the inserts in the rear seats. We're gonna wrap, this is all bed liner that Frank did. So this is actually a gray bed liner that matches the color of the engine and transmission. So this is gonna stay exposed, but up front, we've got all the panels to wrap a headliner and do the A and B pillars. Obviously, this is one thing we haven't gotten done yet. We're waiting for a piece of glass from James at State 48, and then we can put all this together, and we'll be heading to the interior late next week. So my phone's ringing, so I gotta go. Stay tuned, because we're gonna do like a final walkthrough video of this truck. Obviously interior's not done. We have a couple other things to finish up, like there's no windows in it, in the quarter glass anyway, or in the shell. But you're gonna wanna watch the final video, because it's probably one of the last times you'll see it, because James isn't a very good driver and he likes to wreck trucks. And he's already self-admittedly told me that he's gonna drive the crap out of this truck, so it's gonna look great the day that it leaves. And for some reason he had to have white, which white's gonna be hard to keep clean, and he wants to drive it all the time. So this is probably the best this truck is ever gonna look. So appreciate it now while you can, because James is probably gonna ruin it. And I mean that in a good way, like drive it every day, and I don't mean that in a good way. He's gonna ruin it.
James Harden, and we're about to do burnout.